Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, click the bell icon for notifications to go live. I hope everyone's been having a nice weekend, better than mine. Getting over a little bit of an illness here, extremely tired, horrible sore throat, but hanging in there. I actually went to the doctors to make sure I didn't have strep or mono, which tested negative. So that is a positive, but it's been a pretty shit-tacular weekend. So I hope everyone else has been having a nice weekend. I thought it would be nice to do today's live stream. Normally, these live streams are every weekday around 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I thought it would be nice to switch it up today. We're going to do a live stream right as we're getting our weekly candle closes. It also just so happens that not only do we have weekly candle closes, but we also have 2-week candle closes. So in some cases, we will take a look at the 2-week candlesticks. But I have many charts up here. I have several different charts we're going to take a look at. Just eyeballing in here, it looks like I have more than a dozen charts that we're going to take a look at. We're going to see how the weekly has closed out for Bitcoin and several other altcoins as well. We're going to keep things logical and grounded as we always do on this channel. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, thank you for the support. We like to keep things stupid simple on this channel. We like to really zoom in on the higher time frames. You know, those are the time frames we really appreciate most to stay grounded in terms of what's going on given the volatile nature of this market. I did want to share right before the live stream. I was relaxing. I was watching Netflix. I don't really watch a lot of TV, but I was watching Night Teeth, which kind of looked like it might have been a corny, scary movie. It was all right. If you guys want to see like an okay vampire movie, watch Night Teeth. That Debbie Ryan, I gotta tell you. That Debbie Ryan, I am a fan of Debbie Ryan. Go check out Debbie Ryan. I didn't really know who she was until that movie, but Debbie Ryan and Night Teeth, I was digging her. So let's get into the charts here. We're going to start off with Bitcoin like we normally do. And what we need to take a look at here is the weekly close. Let's see how we closed out the week here. Okay, so as I had stated before, this is exactly what we wanted to see. In terms of the most fundamental thing that you wanted to see to occur in this chart. And that is that we got the candle body close to stay above the 200 simple moving average. Okay, the 200 simple moving average right now is at about 26,200, 26,300. This candle body right here closed above it. This isn't the prettiest looking candle, but the point is that we closed above 26,200. Now, you can see several areas of green support down here. You know, I don't care if we wick all the way down here or lower. I could care less if we get a wick like this. The most important thing is what we want to continue to do is to print candle body closes above the weekly. Let's take a look at the price indicators. Apologies. I'll try to keep that out of the microphone. MACD is still positive. We haven't gotten a negative cross, which is good to see. Stochastic RSI. Now, the interesting thing with the stochastic RSI, not only do we have a negative cross down here, but the thing that I want to point out is that RSI, by the way, on the weekly is looking good at 55, very good level. It's still above 20. See how the blue reading is 20.29? That's good. So ideally what we'd want to see on the stochastic RSI, we'd want to see this flatten out along here and begin our curl up, okay? What that's going to tell us is that momentum is starting to resume within the market because right now, the crypto market is suffering from strength and momentum. We need strength and we need momentum to return to the market. So that's what we saw in the weekly. I mean, really, the main thing here to watch for is that we got to close above the 200 simple moving average. Now, couple things I wanted to point out on the lower time frames for Bitcoin. Everyone's been pointing to the head and shoulders. We don't need to take a look at it. We've looked at it before. It is a valid pattern. It certainly has a probability of playing out. The technical target, I believe, would take us down to the low $23,000 range. I'm on record saying, yes, the pattern's there. It certainly could happen, but I don't believe it's going to happen. A couple things I wanted to point out to the contrary that spit in the wind or spit in the face of the head and shoulders that could spell some sort of upchurn in the market. First thing I wanted to point out to you on the lower time frame here on the 12-hour, we have some bullish divergence coming in here. Price is going sideways, yet the RSI, the relative strength index, is increasing in value. If we go into the 2-day, one of the other things I pointed out here, I just want you to focus on price action. We have a falling wedge, okay? We could actually draw this, we could even go like that, okay? The point is, it's wide up here and it starts to become more narrow down here. Okay, so there is a falling wedge present on Bitcoin's chart, so that's something to keep in mind. Something else that I wanted to keep in mind, that I want everyone to keep in mind, this is a 2-day chart. We're resting on top of the 50 simple moving average. As price continues, you can see price is just going sideways, and actually technically it went down. The stochastic RSI is increasing in value. Okay, so there's momentum that's beginning to pick up in the market, although we're still well below 20. And I'm pointing out that the histogram has weakened in terms of bearish strength. Okay, so it's starting to flatten out here. Again, this isn't me trying to build some sort of case to say, oh, you know, this isn't me trying to build some emotional case to say the head and shoulders isn't going to play out. My point is that as a chartist, it's important to look at both sides of the coin, right? There's a bearish head and shoulders pattern, but there's also all these other bullish indicators in the lower time frames that would suggest that it's potential that we could invalidate the head and shoulders pattern. So I would just keep that in mind. It's important to look at both sides of the coin. Okay, this is a very important chart. I've pointed this out before. The bottom indicator here is the ADX-DI. And these lines here, the most important thing to keep in mind, this is the Williams alligator. We want the green above the red above the blue, all right, which is what we have. Now you can see we're riding this green line right now, similar to what we did back here in September and October of 2020, which is the point in time to which I have compared today to. Okay. The other thing to keep in mind is the green is still above this red, which is what we want on the ADX and DI. Okay, so we still have a significant gap here. The green's above 20, excuse me. The red is below 20, and the green is above the red. So that is good to see on the weekly close that we've maintained that. You can see in the past when we've gotten this big gap between the green on top and the red on the bottom. And then we've also, on the Williams alligator, had the green above the red above the blue. We've gotten significant rises in price, okay? This is every time in the past that you look at this. So I'm hypothesizing here, since this has happened every time in the past, that we're going to see it again, more than likely, okay? Ethereum. The most important thing on this chart I had pointed out, we wanted to maintain a candle body close above 1800. You can see we printed. Again, price indicators, similar sort of story as Bitcoin. There's been a lot of strength that has been lost in the crypto market that needs to pick back up. So I don't need to beat a dead horse here, but let's focus on price action since price action is king. The most important thing that you wanted to watch for was for price to maintain price levels, closes, above 1,800. And that's what we got. So we're just chipping and chopping around here. The other thing I wanted to point out here, to me, I'm not drawing this in the chart because I'm the crypto bull god. Okay, that's not why I'm drawing in this chart. I'm drawing this in the chart because it's an observation. If I saw something bearish, I would be pointing it out to you. You can see we have a rounding bottom, okay? I'm just pointing out to you the fact there's a rounding bottom, and if we extrapolate that further, you can see in the past we've had parabolic price movements in Ethereum with these rounding bottoms, okay? So I'm just saying, again, for those new here who are checking out the channel for the first time, my hypothesis is that 4-year cycle people are going to be astonished because I believe we're going to see new all-time highs in Bitcoin this year. Do I think it's possible it could bleed into the early part of next year? Absolutely, going into the halving. Either way, I think too many people are building up this narrative surrounding the halving event, and I believe the halving event is going to be a sell the news event. That's my view. Okay. Fundamentally, love the halving, love everything about Bitcoin. That don't parse my words here and try to make something out of it that I'm not saying. I'm simply saying that when everyone's going this way, you may want to consider going this way. Okay, you don't want to follow the herd. So just kind of pointing out what's going on in Ethereum. But Ethereum did exactly what we wanted to see. Let's maintain price levels above 1,800. Now, this is the total to, this is the total cryptocurrency market cap. What we're actually going to do is we're going to take a look at this on a 2-week chart. We're going to consolidate the price action, and we're going to look at it on a 2-week chart since the 2-week candlestick did close today. Now, I want you to observe what I'm showing here. This is something that I showed on a stream, I want to say back in October, I believe, of last year. But, I mean, essentially, when we have bottomed out, you can see how quickly we have risen in price. And what I'm attempting to illustrate here is that, and actually this is a double bottom on the total cryptocurrency market cap bottom, another bottom here, and then a rise in price. So again, I'm trying to illustrate what I'm seeing in the market. But let's focus on the actual chart here and kind of talk about price action. There's a main price zone for the total cryptocurrency market cap that you're going to want to keep an eye on. You can see what's up, Nephew. Thank you for joining the live stream. Sorry for the voice. I know I don't sound like myself. So you can see that there's really this zone right around we're going to call it 1.2 trillion to 1.34 trillion. This is really the area we want to try to get above. You can see that in the past, when we've gotten above it, it's acted as an area of support. When we've gotten below it, it has acted as an area of resistance, denoted by the red circles. Blue is support, and a break here, actually. And then the red areas, appreciate the support, everyone, with a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And the red is indicating that once we've gotten below that area, it has acted as an area of resistance. So really, on the total cryptocurrency market cap, we're sitting at just over $1 trillion right now, about 1.1, okay? What we really need to do is we need to break out convincingly with a 2-week candlestick above 1.2, 1.34, and 1.55. 1.55, once we start to get up towards 1.55, that's when we can get a little bit more excited. The other thing to point out here is that we're really not going to see momentum begin to really pick up in this market until this MACD gets above our trigger line, which is at 0, okay? So this MACD still has a little bit of work to do, okay? Realistically, it just depends how much momentum comes into this market. Realistically, it's probably going to take us at least another 2 candlesticks, if not 3 or 4, to actually push this MACD above 0. What does that actually mean? Well, if I'm saying 2 candlesticks and quite possibly 3 or 4, multiply those values by 2 to get how many weeks we're talking about, since this is a 2-week chart. So we're talking about maybe 4 weeks, but maybe even potentially more realistic to say 6 to 8 weeks, right? So just got to remain patient. Total 3, okay, same sort of idea here. Another thing I would point out, which is really important to point out on the total 3. Now, I decided to skip total 2. So what's the difference between total 2, and total 3? Total is the entire cryptocurrency market cap. That is heavily weighted by Bitcoin and Ethereum. So when we strip out both of those, we can see how the rest of the altcoin market is performing. That's total 3. Yes, we could look at total 2. Total 2 includes Ethereum, but Ethereum, we'll look at it another time. Ethereum encapsulates so much of the altcoin market cap that I feel like it dampens the overall view. Okay, it distorts the overall view of how the rest of the market is doing. So I like this view because what this is saying is really, how does the entire cryptocurrency market look, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum? How do all the rest of the altcoins look? Now, one of the most important things to point out here, which has still remained true to this day, okay, we don't want to lose sight of this. Downward resistance was broken here, and we're just riding it right now. We haven't gone under here. We haven't gone back down here, right? We're just riding that downward resistance, and we're right now riding it as support. But really the zone, you can see blue is where we broke it and formulated support. Red, once we broke below, you can see this zone has acted as an area of resistance. We're sitting right now on all these altcoins at 300, we're going to call it $350 billion of market cap. okay? The zone is between 390 and 470. That's what this is right here, right? So really, what I'm trying to share with you is that if all of the altcoins, again, excluding Ethereum, if all the altcoins on average increased roughly by 35%, okay, 35%, 36%, and once we get up into this zone here, that's when it's time to get excited, because first off, there's a big gap between 470 and 617. I think once we get in this area, it's going to be a relatively swift move and pretty quick to get up into this area, 617 to 733. Look at where we would be at that point. We're starting to enter territories. Once we clear this area, you see this area right here? Once we clear like $837 billion of market cap and we really start pushing up here, there's not a lot of price confluence up in this section. And because there isn't a lot of market structure and there's not a lot of price confluence, it's a lot easier for price to go higher, right? When you look at a chart like this, okay, look at all these red areas of resistance. I mean, Bitcoin has a lot of work to do. It needs to prove itself. It needs to break all these red lines of resistance, right? Now, if we go back to the total 3, so it's harder. We go back to the total 3, you can see there's a big gap right here, right? Once we break this zone. Then there's another zone right here. And once we break that zone, there's a huge gap here between 837 and 1.1 trillion, okay? So there's a lot of air in between some of these areas of resistance that will lend itself to a higher probability that once we break these big zones of resistance, we're going to have a lot of quick runs to the upside, okay? Something to watch for. The other thing that I wanted to point out in this chart, I didn't want to forget, price indicators, okay? If we go to the past, if you guys want to chart this out on TradingView, this is a 2-week chart, okay? There are 2 horizontal red lines of resistance on the RSI. Let's get off the stochastic RSI, actually. Shit, what did I do? I don't know what I did. Okay, so there are 2 horizontal areas of resistance on the RSI. I have them labeled at 49 and 60, okay? The other thing that I have labeled here is the MACD. And what I'm attempting to illustrate here is once the RSI gets above 49, but really above 60, really it's above 60. 49 is sort of the first level, 60 is the real level. And simultaneously, you get a MACD. You can't really see it, but there's a MACD cross here, okay? Once you get the MACD cross coupled, sorry, I'm trying to show it here, but it's not, you can see it right there. Once you get the MACD cross along with the RSI cross above 60, really is what you want to watch for. That's when, the prior time that happened, things really start to heat up. And you can see, again, similar to the total market cap, we still have quite a ways to go until we get above this MACD. I mean, this probably realistically is going to take us another good, 4 to 6 weeks here. So another 2 to 3 candlesticks, potentially. It just depends how much momentum comes in the market. It could take up to 2 months. But once we get a positive cross here, you can see once we really started to build momentum, until we started to escalate in price, you're talking about 249 days, okay, that we really escalated in price, okay? And it happens very, very quickly. I was here back in, I've been here for a while, it feels like. Really, I've only been here, when I really think about it, it's not really been that long, but in terms of crypto, I've been here for a long time. And I remember 2020 and 2021 very, very well. And I remember altcoins I was holding, positions I was opening, tokens I held for a while. I remember how all of a sudden they just started taking off. And I'm saying what I'm trying to prepare you for is I want to keep you grounded and logical. and help you to realize that in order to be successful in this market, you have to remain unemotional, you have to remain patient, and you have to have a game plan. When things really start to accelerate to the upside, it will happen very, very quickly. It's going to be a lot more exciting to tune into this live stream. I'm going to get a lot more engagement, I guarantee you. You know, when Bitcoin's breaking up to, you know, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. I think about crypto too much. I had a dream last night. I'm literally just remembering this right now. You know how sometimes you don't remember a dream until well after the fact. Literally just remembering right now that I had a dream that Bitcoin was breaking $70,000 and $90,000. I think about crypto too much. But the point is, when that happens, you also have to be very prepared and have a game plan in place in terms of what your sell strategy is. Bitcoin dominance, we're sort of just in this range right now. The descending triangle, the valid descending triangle I had pointed out, has been invalidated. That no longer is a valid pattern. Okay, we have to adapt our view as price develops. A couple ways you can draw this, right? There's a couple ways. One, this is valid to draw it the way I have it drawn. There's an area of resistance here at like 48.5%. You could also draw it like this. This is another thought-provoking view, because what this would show, you can see it touches on the candle bodies here, a wick, candle body. We broke above it. Now we've maintained an area above roughly 47%. So, you know, depending what your view is, these are both very valid views. It is quite possible. It's quite possible. Bitcoin dominance could get one last break up before a move down, or we could just move down. I think either one is as likely possible. The thing to keep in mind, okay, I'm surprised this area of support has held up the way it has. Anytime, double touches are good. When you back test support, when you create an area of support and you back test it one time, maybe twice, that's okay. And that oftentimes serves as confirmation and strength before you start heading higher. In this case, though, when you touch one time, two times, three times, four times, five times, when you hit multiple times on an area of support like that, it actually weakens. And there's a much, much higher likelihood that that support is going to break, okay? So I strongly I feel convicted, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I'm losing my words here. Sorry. My brain is a little foggy at the moment. I feel very strongly that the next time we come down to this area, which is between 39 to 40%, when you see Bitcoin dominance, and right now it's at about 48%, when it decreases by about 20%, we're down here between 39 and 40, this area is most likely going to break. It has an extremely high likelihood, so something to watch for. Cardano, by the way, I'm not going to look at XRP. I've charted XRP several times. We're not going to take a look at it. Reason is because I've indicated that we need to get above 50 cents. 50 cents is that 200 simple moving average. Once we see XRP, where is it at? Like 46, I think? Yeah, 46 cents. Once we start to get above 50 cents, let's revisit XRP, but that's my update on XRP. It needs to get above 50 cents. Cardano, yeah, I mean, same sort of thing. We're just consolidating in this area here. We need to break back above 40 cents, and then ultimately we have this huge gap up to 60 cents. I mean, I think my view is once we break 40 cents with conviction, there's a 50% move here that more than likely is going to happen pretty quickly, and we're going to be at 60 cents. So you could see this thing make a very strong move. Where are we at right now on Cardano? 36 cents. Yeah, so you could see this thing see more than a 50% move from current price levels pretty quick once we break 40 cents. So something to watch out for. Solana, I know there's a lot of people here who asked me to chart Solana. Price is king, so okay, we closed below here, not good. We're below 20 bucks. Not what we want to see, Cardano holders. Not what we want to see. It's a zone. It's a zone. I mean, you could take the zone down here. You could take the zone down here. So right now, because we're starting to press below $20, I will tell you this. There's an increased likelihood we could fall all the way to 12. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but it's certainly a possibility. I won't tell you what that looks like that I just drew. Let's take that off the screen. But there's only a couple scenarios here. One is we're going to break this resistance, back test, and go higher. 2 is we're just going to go chippy chop sideways until we go higher. Or 3 is we're going to plummet close to $12 and then continue going higher. So we'll have to see how it plays out. If I had to take a guess at this point, really depends the direction of the market. It looks like we might just go sideways right through the descending resistance and then eventually break it. But I don't see this thing going down to $12 again. But again, the probability has increased for Solana that we could see some sort of dip, even if we want this low. There's an area of price confluence right here. I mean, I would say it's more probable, not that we go to 12, but you could see a dip down to the $14 or $15 level. It's certainly possible. But what I'm saying is the likelihood has increased because we've lost $20 as support from a candle body close perspective on the weekly. So something to watch out for. Doge did touch the tippy top of the price zone that I had indicated here. So this was a great buying opportunity. This is on the weekly. There we go. It printed. It took a while. You can see we're just in this triangular formation, coiled up here. You know, it needs to make a decision at some point. So we're just consolidating. You know, sometimes when there's nothing exciting to share, that's what you got to come out and share. Just keep shit real. But until we start to break out, yeah, price indicators are price indicators. But you know, nothing in Doge is going to get interesting. By the way, the market structure on this is beautiful. The market structure, I don't care what your fundamental view is on Doge. The market structure on Doge is beautiful. So I think Doge is going to very easily, let's come back to this video many, many months out from now. I think Doge is very easily going to break $1. Okay, its cyclical high was at 74 cents. I think it's going well above $1, so we'll have to keep an eye. But it's not going to get interesting until we break this area of downward resistance. And then ultimately our swing high here, this was at, whoop. This prior bounce that we got, we peaked out at, once we break downward resistance, what I'm trying to say, okay, 16 cents. So once we break the downward area of resistance, we need to break 16 cents. Once we break 16 cents, shit's going to get really interesting because now you're getting up to much higher levels, up towards this 26 cent area. Looks like 35, 37 cents. So it'll get really interesting. So 16 cents is really a main area I would watch for. The graph, I wanted to take a quick look at the graph. How did we close the week out? Okay, weak candlestick. Yeah, just not a lot of momentum in the market right now. Negative cross down in the MACD, not good to see. Yeah, we, keep in mind, we had a large run. We ran from 5 cents all the way up to 23. We did more than a 4X in this thing. We did almost a 5X. Yeah, I mehave come on, nephew. Do you never dream about crypto? I've dreamt about crypto many a times. I have many recurring dreams about my car being stolen, or something horrendous happening to it, and then something with crypto, and like crypto's like blowing up in a good way. It's going astronomically higher in value, and yeah. Anyway, I have those recurring dreams. So clearly, it occupies my mind. So we're just chipping and chopping around here. Again, nothing new to report. You know, we just need to break the downward resistance here. I'm expecting at some point, once we break the downward area of resistance, and we break this swing high here at like 23 cents, we're going up to 35 to 56 cents pretty quickly. So something to watch out for. Quick update on the Holy Crypto Trinity. If you don't know what the Holy Crypto Trinity is, you need to get up to date. You need to get up to date, son. Downward resistance here we need to break on H-bar. H-bar showing weakness with the rest of the market. Okay, we need to break this area here, probably back test it, and then get up to this 9 to 10 cent area. H-bar, like much of the market, has found its comfort zone. It's a stable coin around 5 cents, just like Harmony One. Harmony One has found its comfort zone at that 1.5 cent mark, 2 cents. You know, same thing with Harmony One. We're in what I would call a very advantageous buy zone. You can see we're in my lighter green buy zone. This is my darker green buy zone down here that we literally just like touched the top of. But again, with the rest of the market, you can see the same thing in H-bar. We just have this downward area resistance we need to break. Now, Harmony is a lower cap, takes less liquidity to move it. So once it really does move, it's not going to take as much money to really move it. So it can be a quicker mover to the up and downside. Once we break this area here, what we really want to watch for, we really want to watch for is a break of 3 cents. We want to retain that area at 3 cents. Once we do that, we can start pushing up to 5.4, 7.1, and 9.4. Big gap here, in my opinion, between 18 and 9.4. So I think you could draw another area of resistance right here at like 13. But the point is there is a decent gap, not a lot of price confluence between 9.4 and 17.6. It'll be interesting when Harmony regains 9.4 cents, how quickly it moves up to, you know, that 18, 20 cent mark. And the last chart for this week, Mana Decentraland. You can see originally I had a falling wedge here that was drawn, which was invalidated. Had it drawn like this. Again, valid chart up until this point here, now invalidated. Now, what you could do, you could draw something like this. You could do something like that. But the point is, consolidating with the rest of the market, this thing went from 28 cents all the way up to 85 cents. Again, it pulled nearly a 4x. It's just cooling off. There is nothing unhealthy about this, guys. This is, I understand it's a correction. I agree with you. If you said this is a correction, yes, it's also consolidation, okay? You have to have patience in this market. I intuitively understand this because I'm a numbers person, okay? But you cannot expect to make literal life-changing money in cryptocurrencies, okay? You can't expect that without there being a lot of volatility to the downside, just like there's volatility to the upside. You go to any of these charts, you go to Decentraland. Decentraland from March of 2020, once it stabilized in price, ran from 2 cents up to $6 in November of 21. I mean, that's literally a year and a half. It ran up 300%. It did no, not 300%, much more. That would be, would that be 30,000%? Whatever the case is, it did a 300x. Well, if you're in something that can do a 300x in a year and a half, you have to understand you're going to, at some point, have some sort of massive correction, and you're going to have to remain patient until prices sustain themselves and begin to build market structure back to the upside. So we just have to be patient. Guys, that's all I had prepared for you today. I hope you found it helpful, kind of level set where the market closed at this week. I know right now, Neffy, can you come back? Yeah, I know you had tweeted at me earlier about this, man. I am just not feeling it right now. I'm not really feeling the best, to be honest with you. So I'm hoping I can get some sleep tonight and wake up feeling better tomorrow. But can you ask me about sushi and magic? I'm not dodging you, just not feeling well at the moment. Ask me about sushi and magic during the next live stream. It'll be Tuesday. This is the live stream that normally I would do on Monday. Okay, so I will be back on Tuesday. But what I was going to say is, I know it's not very exciting right now. I'm trying to get you guys to just hang in there and remain patient. I think that patience will be highly, highly rewarded in this market, and it'll be a very short period, very short period of time until we're back on this live stream, and there's a lot more excitement in this market, So just hang in there. Nothing material has changed in the market. Again, Bitcoin stayed above this 200 simple moving average, which is really good to see. Thank you, Neffy. Hanging in there. Hopefully by Wednesday I shall be 100%. So hope everyone has a good day tomorrow. I will not be here. Like I said, I will be back on Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in at a different time today. I appreciate the engagement. And until next time, everybody, spread awareness, carry the education forward. Take care, everybody.